Hi guys, welcome back in a new video. Today we're going to cover cells. I am a cell. You are a cell who are watching. Every living thing in a cell. Cells are so small that you cannot see them with your eyes alone. Only through a microphone you can see the cell. Microscope. I'm very sorry. Let's talk about a plant cell. A plant cell has a cell wall, cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus, mitochondria, chloroplast, sap, vacuole. Cell wall is it holds it very strong and stiff. It holds the shape of the plant. Cell membrane is very thin and flexible. It is the thin skin of soap bubble. It lies along inner edge of the cell wall. The cell membrane controls what goes in and out of the cell. Cytoplasm. All cells have cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is clear jelly. Chemical reactions happen inside the cytoplasm. These reactions keep the cell alive. Most cells have a nucleus. The nucleus controls the activity of the cell. Mitochondria. All plant cells have mitochondria. Singular mitochondria. That it turns the food into energy. And let us go to animal cell. Let's talk about animal cell. Animal cell have a cell membrane, cytoplasm, mitochondria, nucleus. And I forgot one more thing. I forgot to say about chloroplast. Chloroplast looks green, are green actually. Plant cells that are in sunlight often contain chloroplast. This is where plant makes their food or energy. Food. The mitochondria. From food it will turn into energy. Chloroplast looks green because it contains a green substance called chlorophyll. Now let's go into animal cell. Animal cell have a cell membrane, cytoplasm, mitochondria, nucleus. The same thing. No one knows exactly how many cells there are in person. One estimate is about 100 trillion. That is 1,000,000,000,000,000,000 cells. Animal cells are similar to plant cell in several ways. They have cell membrane, cytoplasm, mitochondria, and a nucleus. Now let's talk about the specialized cell. Not all of the cells in your body are the same. There are many different kinds of cells in your body. Each kind of cell has a particular function. The function of cell is the job that it does. Or the role it plays. Each cell is specialized to carry out its function. that it has a structure that helps it to do its function really well. The cell is adapted to carry out its function. The diagrams show three kinds of specialized cells in the human body. Red blood cells are smaller than most other cells in the body. That allows them to get through tiny blood capillaries so they can deliver oxygen to every part of the body. The cytoplasm contains red pigment color called hemoglobin. This carries oxygen around the body. This cell has no nucleus. This leaf, like the cell which doesn't have a nucleus is a red blood cell. Neuron carry electrical signal from one part of the body to another. They help all the different parts of the body to communicate with each other. For example, they can carry signals from the brain to muscle to make the muscle move. The axon is very long strand of cytoplasm. This electric signal can travel along very quickly. Ciliated cells. Ciliated cells have thin threads along one edge, like microscopic hairs. They are called cilia. The cilia can move. One place in the body that contains ciliated cells in the lining of tubes leading from your mouth to your lungs. Other cells in this lining makes a sticky substance called mucus. When you breathe in, the mucus traps dust and bacteria in the air to stop them going into your lungs. The cilia sweeps the mucus up to back of your mouth and you swallow it. Root hair cells are found on the outside of plant roots. Their function is to absorb water from the soil. Each cell has a long, thin extension that allows water to move easily from the soil into the cell. Now let's talk about cells, tissues and organs. Tissues, living things, include animal and plants, are called organisms. There are many different kinds of cells in an animal or a plant. Most of them are specialized to carry out particular activity. Usually many cells of the same kind are grouped together. A group of similar cells which all work together to carry out particular function is called a tissue. Tissues that line organs. The bodies of plants and animals contain many different parts called organs. For example, your organs include your brain, your heart, muscles. Plant organs include leaves, roots, flower. Each organ is made up of several different kinds of tissues working together. For example, your brain contains neutrons and also several several other kinds of cells. A plant root contains root hair cells and also several other kinds of cells. Organs also work together. A set of organs that all work together is called organ system. Now, guys, subscribe and now we are talking about viruses. Yup, viruses. Viruses are very, very small. A virus is much smaller than one of your cells. You cannot see a virus with the kind of microscope that you use at school. To see a virus, you will need special kinds of microphone called electron microscope. Viruses are not made up of cells. They do not have cell membrane or cytoplasm. The blue-green outer layer is called protein. There are little pegs on the outside of the coat. Like when you see the COVID-19 picture in any of them, there will be some small spokes. Those are called pegs, and it's made up of protein. The orange part inside contains a substance called RNA. The RNA is made up of little threads that contain a set of coded instruction to make more virus. You think coded? No, it's not that coding when you type, and viruses are not made by humans. They naturally occurred. Like COVID-19, born in China in 19. It came on by bats. How viruses replicate? Viruses cannot do anything on their own. They do not respire, feed, excrete or growth. They are not sensitive and cannot move. Viruses have to get in of a living cell before they can make copies of themselves. The viruses can invade, get inside cells of birds, humans and other mammals. Viruses get into your body by going up your nose when you breathe. The little pegs on the virus's coat helps it to stick. Like when we talked about mucus, the virus sticks onto the mucus. And when you swallow it, the virus will go one of your cells. When the viruses are inside the cell, each virus bursts open. The virus forces the cell to copy the instruction of RNA and make new viruses. This is called replication. This kills the cell. The new viruses burst out of the living cell ready to infect more cells. This makes animal cells whose cells are infected feel ill. H3N2 viruses can cause very unpleasant and dangerous kinds of influenza, flu. In 1968 to 1969, these viruses killed approximately 1 billion people. The flu virus are just one of different kinds of viruses we know about. This kind of virus has a particular kind of cell that is infected. Some viruses infect plant cells. In 2019, a new virus approached. Yes, you know about it. The new virus is similar to viruses that cause flu, colds. Its official name is SARS, SARS-CoV-2. The illness is caused by COVID-19. That stands Coronavirus Disease 2019. Like, we are not even using that word COVID-19. Scientists will work hard for many years to find the best way of preventing this. Include vaccination and drugs to treat COVID-19. Just a second. Wow. Yes. Guys, for the next video, you can just type in the chat which topic can be the next. I'll research and say it to you. Or let me give you some options. Like, this video is about biology, cells, microorganisms, viruses. They're all same, right? Small animals, small organisms. So now you can say, should I talk about physics next, or chemistry, or some other topic? Just type it in the comments below. What is microorganisms? A microorganism is a living organism that's so small that you can clearly only see by microscope. Like, everything I talk about in this video is not everything. Some things are gonna be small. Most things small. Like all living organisms, microorganisms are made up of cells. Many microorganisms are made up of one cell. They are single cells. There's several different types of microorganisms. This include bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and algae. Each of these microorganisms is described. I'll say it's described now. Bacteria. Bacteria are everywhere. Bacteria is a plural word. The singular word for just one of them is bacterium. Each bacterium is made up of single cell. Cell of bacterium are much smaller than animal cell or plant cell. You could fit thousands of bacteria in a photo, lined up end to end between 2 of the millimeter marks on your ruler. Most bacteria are harmless, but there are few kinds which make you ill. Bacteria live in a digestive system that are completely harmless. Fungi is a plural word. Let's see the singular word. Is fungus. The fungi are not always micro. Many fungi include mushrooms and toadstools. Many, including mushrooms and toadstools, are large and easy to see. Mushrooms are and toadstools are only part of the fungus body. True. They only grow at certain time of the year. Most of the time, the fungus is just a tangle of thin thread, very thin threads. The threads often grow under the ground or inside for dead loaves. The threads are so thin that you cannot see without a microscope. Like if you describe the RNA and this, the RNA is much smaller. There are also some kinds of fungi that do not produce mushroom or toadstools. They are made up of single cells, not threads. So they are definitely microorganisms. The powdery substance that you sometimes see on the surface of grapes is made up of millions of cells of yeast, which is a microscopic fungus. Now let's talk about algae and protozoa. Let's talk about algae and protozoa till afterwards. Now let's talk about microorganisms in the environment, how it affects the environment. The study of organisms in their environment is called ecology. All the different organisms that live together affect one another in some ways. For example, one species of animal may eat another animal. A plant may provide shelter for another animal. Microorganisms have important role to play in the environment. Now let's talk about how they are important in food chains and food web. The first organisms in the food chain is called producer. Plants use energy from sun to produce food. All the other organisms in the food chain are called consumers. Animals are always consumers. Excuse me. Animals are always consumers. They have to eat ready-made food to get their energy. They consume plants or other animals. Consumers that consume only plants are herbivores. Consumers that consume only animals are carnivores. Consumers that consume both plants and animals are called omnivorous, and I am omnivorous. Like humans are also herbivorous. Some rare humans are carnivores because every day they eat only non-veg. Non-veg, we cannot call it non-veg. We are in science, so we can call it meat. Animals that catch, kill, and eat other animals are predators. The animals they catch are prey. Now at the last, the apex predator. The predator, how will it die? Now it will come the money. Now when it just becomes too old and it dies, not old, like the microorganisms will consume the predator. The microorganisms will eat the predator, the leftovers of its body. Like you can call it decomposers. Or what will they say? Hyenas, vultures, what will they say that? What will they call that? Oh, leave it. Now let me show you one food web. Let me say you one food web. Like it'll start with a grass. The grass consumes the energy from the sun, the sunlight, photosynthesis. As the grass grows, then a little termite comes and eats the grass. Then an adivotch comes and sticks his tongue and swallows it. Then suddenly a bird sees it slowly, and he'll wait for the chance and jump out and eat it. So, at the last, the decomposers flying from the air. It's like a god flying from the air comes and lands on the leopard and waits for a good time. Now let's go into brief decomposers and decay. Like an apple, like there's an apple, and on that there are white color spots. Those are fungus. Those are microorganisms, right? They eat all the leftovers of the apple. Like no one is plucking the apple or eating the apple, so microorganisms come and eat. Like if a long time rice is lying over there, microorganisms come and eat. Bread especially. Lot of times it happened with me. I just leave the bread there, eat one piece every day. Then one day there'll be white sticky thing or white threads. Yes, threads. White threads. What is this? When I was small I was thinking, I thought to eat. But my father told, hey, wait. That is fungus. You should not eat fungus. You will learn. The microorganisms have changed the apple. They have made it decay. Organisms that make things decay are called decomposers. Many different kinds of microorganisms include some kinds of bacteria and microscopic fungi are decomposers. Apple comes from plant, which are living organisms. Any substance that has been made by living organisms is called organic matter. So apples are organic matter. Some microorganisms break down the remaining food. Okay guys, that's it for today. See you later. Goodbye. Signing off, Harshit.